Test one, two. Let's try that again. All right, microphone issues. It's Mentorship Monday afternoon session. Let's talk about it. So today I'm going to be covering some really cool topics for the new folks. Also, what we're doing here as we come into the end of the year 2024 into 2025, we're going to be talking about SMLK timing lines here today. Going to be walking you through some things on the new updates on the website, training modules, and going through the Ask Questions section inside of Discord. Got some really cool play setups to talk through and walk through as well. Don't forget, it is also contract rollover day, which is going to be something that you should see if you've got our sorry about that, getting a telephone call here. If you have the templates that we use, you should have seen something like this on your chart. Please let me know if you guys got this there in your comment section. If you didn't, we need to talk about the indicator to make sure that you have it turned on. There is the next rollover date scenario. Told you guys on Friday to, hey, make sure you roll over your contracts to the 03 contract for the primary nerd. What is the nerd? NERD, NASDAQ, ES, Rusty, and the Dow, the nerd. So all four of those need to be rolled over, including, yes, crude oil every month, of course, and even gold needs to be rolled over. Now it's going to be a different contract month because remember, gold is something that rolls over every 2 months. If you don't know what we're talking about, bring your questions here today. We're going to cover all of that and the SMLK. Let's go. Welcome aboard, everyone. What exactly is ALGOBOX, and why do our traders absolutely love it? Michael Othrow.
Fib.em on the one.
Are you ready? Indeed. It's pardon my throat there. It is Mentorship Monday, and like I said, we're going to cover a lot of things here in this one. Come down here to the bottom left. So today I would like to point out, first thing is go back to Friday's video. We covered some really in-depth stuff on Friday. Remember, we bookend our week with the beginning stuff here. Today's a Monday, so we're going to talk about beginner stuff, kind of intro things. Bring any question. We're open to it. Fridays, I really try to bring an advanced topic. I try to spend some time thinking about what we're going to do there. We really went in deep on the bar types, all the way into what is inside of an algo bar. What is the difference between these visual bars and things like a range bar? What is the difference in the range bar? Why do we use non-time-based bars? We covered a lot of that. What's inside? The three columns, those are the things to really take away from the lesson on Friday as you're doing your full auto, especially we call it full auto Fridays, because those are the advanced topics there around fully automated systems, which a lot of people really, when they hear the word algo, when they think algo trading, obviously the default is to think full auto. Now, algo trading is also quantitative trading, which simply means that you are doing quantitative analysis to make your trading decisions, which is what we do. And I personally recommend, again, I can't make recommendations for trading because, you know, I'm not one of those licensed professionals in the area and I'm not here to make recommendations. But if you ask me, so Vinny, what would you do as a mentor? I'm talking to myself on a younger version of myself to go, Vinny, if you were going through this, again, I would recommend cyborg trading, which is the mix of human and machine, using the algorithmic quantitative analysis, then to execute like a great gamer would using the cheat code that I call the Algo box. Now that's a mouthful, but kind of want to talk to the new folks around that. I get a lot of feedback sometimes that says, hey, this looks too complicated. I'm going to talk to you today. If you think that this is too complicated, hang with me here to the end because I'm going to talk to you about how you make it through. Piece at a time, kind of what they say with the whole how to eat an elephant one bite at a time. Well, this is not even an elephant. This is more like eating, I don't know, I'm going to get gross here and be like some small animal. I'll leave it to your imagination. But something much smaller. Okay. It is, maybe some fried chicken. How about some fried chicken? All right. You need to make winner chicken dinner. There we go. We'll do the chicken analysis here on winner chicken dinner. You don't know what I'm talking about there. We are looking for within 5 trades. This is how I approach the video game. If you are new with us, I'm looking for 5 trades within 1 hour to 90 minutes, which I think is a healthy amount of time to play a video game. We approach the video game like you would Super Mario Brothers, where they give you 5 lives. And then within those 5, all I need are 2 winners. Pretty easy. Hopefully you get the first 2, would be awesome, but sometimes your second trade might be a loser. That's all right. Maybe your third one might be a loser. That's all right. We want to come back here and get maybe those. And if they are split across, and if you kind of go the way that I do, increasing your trade size from trades 1 through 5, these 2 right here should add up to a chicken dinner, the old CD. Winner chicken dinner. That's how you approach things. Now, after your chicken dinner, you do have what I call the bonus. Now, remember, everything that I'm telling you here is just how I approach things. You can do it however you want, all right? If you want my tools, you know the rules. You can go grab those there on our website. The tide and the wave. Let's make sure we decide what's our current direction. It is as simple as deciding what does a high time frame look like on the tide. The highest time frame is called the tide. That's what we call the tide. These may be new terms to you. It's okay. That's the whole point of the training. It is not that difficult. So as we're moving down, pretty much looks like it's down. So I'm going to go ahead and click the tide as red. And I'm going to look over here at the wave chart. And I'm going, this one's kind of neutral. Come down. We might be coming up here, though. So I'm actually going to flip this to green. Now you might be thinking, well, we're under the rope. So we're kind of in the middle. We've popped down. And the last thing that we hit was a green dot. This is where things might get complicated, but don't let it fool you. Okay, it is as simple as I just want a general idea of where we're at in the markets. Are both of these higher time frames looking down? Well, depends on how you look at it. But I'd like to look at what was the most recent signal that was respected. Well, I can see we got 2 things there. We got the giant green dot structure and a Bollinger touch right here. So I'm going to say that this is an up move for right now. Make sense? Simple as that. And then I'm going to put this up here at the top right in the corner of my eye so I can figure out my filtered direction. Now, when I've got my filtered direction, that is how I decide which button I'm going to press, the red one or the green one. Pretty easy. Right now, because that was a split, we've got a scenario where we've got 1 long, 1 short. Now I have to use a third screen. Real simple. So now what does this one tell me? Same thing. This is my final scenario. What is the most recent one that's hitting right here? And I can tell right now we just tapped a red. Can you see it? Let me take this off of always on top so I can draw on it. Right there we had a Bollinger touch and we did drop off a bar. It respected that. And I want to look at what's the measurement on that. I'm going to use my measuring tool here. Which isn't working for some reason. Oh, there we go. Okay, got my Logitech. He's working again. Let's try that one more time.
Enigma long on the NQ3.
Okay, something's going on with my hotkeys, so I'm going to have to do it manually. Happens on a Monday after you reboot over the weekend. Let's see. I want to get the ruler tool. Where's the ruler? There it is. Control F3. All right. So 21 tick drop off of that red touch right now. Okay, so I'm going to be looking for shorts. I'll be hovering my mouse over the red right now because I basically have both directions to go there. And what's the most recent? I am red. Now there's another filter here that tells me when's the best time to actually take a trade. I am inside of the fiddle zone right now, which is this area right here. You'll learn that if you are new with us. Don't worry. You'll learn how to look through this and go, okay, well, what decision should I be making right now? Am I in the fiddle zone? I'm less likely to have the easy play while I am stuck inside of here. I want this sucker to pop all the way out here. This is where I get the easy big plays right here, right here, right here, right here, and right here. Okay. All this area in the middle, a little bit more noise in there, going to be more difficult. Now, if you've watched my live streams, I have become very good at the tools, and this is where I kind of do you guys a disservice. I play in this zone. You guys have seen me do it. I get feedback all the time. Vinny, how come you're playing in the fiddle zone? Again, I'm a position builder. I have, you know, I'm just at a different spot. You could get there one day if you want to be that way, fantastic. Or if you are starting out with us new, I would recommend that you just kind of follow the standard operating procedures and stay out of that fiddle zone. Okay, you're not ready to really know what's going on inside there quite yet. So it's as simple as that. That was a nice headshot up top there. Speaking of great plays, there you had a super dot come in, and it's a headshot, right? And if you don't know what that is, go through the training, right? That is a clear headshot that came in right there. Again, I'm a bit busy over here chatting with you guys. I already did my damage there this morning, up 7190 for the day. Pretty happy with that right now, but they're going to be play setups that show up here. Oh, is that a confluence dot long? All right, I'll go ahead and take one right now. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Currently moderate buy over here on the left, which could help me on that. And I will go for a little target one here. As an example, stop right up underneath here under the dot. So nice little tight stop there and looking for that one. December 16th, great games. What did I miss? Okay, so confluence dot there. We'll go ahead and take a shot at that. Oh, we just missed one over here on NQ. Look at that one. So hopefully this one comes up with us. A little bit slow there. NQ, though, very nice. What do we have here? Label it up. Moonshot on the threes on NQ. So what is a moonshot? Now, this is the entry strategy. People are asking all the time, so what about the entry strategies? Well, the entry strategies are just that. They're the final pinpoint precision entry reason why you're going to go ahead and press the button. And that's all you're waiting for. Literally, the entire thing that I do here, if I were to boil it down into 3 steps, I am getting my filter direction. That's one. Now, if you don't even care, like if you don't want to do the first thing I did earlier here, like if you want to ignore this, what you can do, an even simpler way to do this, in my opinion, is to simply use the nerd filter. That's this guy over here, what we refer to as the MacV Ultimate. So take our plays in the filter direction of where the majority of the nerds are agreeing that we are currently long, strong buy side scenario. Wow, that moonshot shot off like crazy, continuing to run up there. I wish I had my measuring tool working properly. I'm going to grab a ruler here one more time manually. And from cross shark back play, that has gone up 76 ticks to the long side off of that moonshot. If you're wondering why that is so powerful, that is a trapper keeper if I've ever seen one. Beautiful play there. Let's see. Let's let's see if this one ends up stopping me out here for our first play of the session here this afternoon. It does. Okay, so first one, take a stop out. So not every trade is going to be a winner, but our stops are based on structures. So here we have a confluence dot. I will look for a reentry on this. We have a 2-try rule. And it's not really a rule. I don't really like to use the term rules because rules are, you know, generally not made to be broken, although some people say they are. In general, probably not. Okay, so that has now been reiterated. So I'm going to try it one more time, get a little bit larger on this one this time. And this time I'm going to put this right underneath the cross stop on this play and push this out a couple more ticks here right where that white line is, and potentially a runner up to the white line right up above us there, as we are still strong buy. Confluence dot reiterated, and we'll see how that one goes right there with all 4 of the nerds excuse my throat there, all 4 of the nerds to the long direction here right now this afternoon. Let's see. Other things I wanted to cover here is contract rollover. So today is contract rollover from Friday. We mentioned this in our Discord chat. So if you're following along in Discord, you saw my multiple announcements. I make them very, very clear in there. However, if you just came in this morning and you see this big yellow line here, if you have the wave chart with our default layouts, you should have this next rollover telling you that, hey, today's the day. Get this nice little yellow line there on your big chart there telling you, hey, it's time to do your contract rollover. One of the nuances about trading with futures. Let's see, is MACV Ultimate something that does not come with this setup system with ALGOBOX? The MACV Ultimate is inside of the Discord trading community. So if you have access to Discord trading community, which basically just means you've adhered to our rules, because you can be removed. There have been people who are, you know, who've been banned who violate our community rules. If you are adhering to our community rules and guidelines, then we are happy to let you use the MACV Ultimate tool if you are inside of Discord. Makes sense. So let's see. Hopefully we're getting a little riser there. See if we get our first 10 ticks out of that trade here, or if we're going to take that scoop and loop. Unfortunately, we are inside the fiddle zone. If this were outside the fiddle zone, this would be a much easier play here. We've got a little bit of a loose rubber band here, so a little bit riskier play here, only because of being inside of that fiddle zone right now. Let's see. Yeah, Curtis just gave you a link there if you want to go straight into that room there, and it's basically just open up a browser and have this over on the side. This updates in real time, and this is hosted centrally, not on your NinjaTrader. So that's probably a good question there. This is hosted by our own servers and distributed inside of Discord, and it is reading from all 4 of those correlated instruments: NASDAQ, ES, RTY, and the Dow. Make sense? Cool. So as far as the training program, people who are asking, hey, you know, this seems complicated. It's, in my opinion, it's really not. Your car, in my opinion, has, you know, it's more difficult to drive your car. If you are looking at the owner's manual on your car, there's literally hundreds of buttons and items and things that are written inside of the owner's manual on a car. But you know, at the end of the day, you need the steering wheel and the pedal on the left, the pedal on the right, and then everything else is giving you information about what's going on around you that you may need at a certain point. Like, you don't need your windshield wipers every day, right? You don't need necessarily your rearview mirror all the time. You don't need to look in your rearview mirror all the time, but it's a good idea to know about what's going on around you. So a lot of things that are going on around here are literally that. Like, hey, what's happening behind me? Do I have a trap back here on the left? It looks like a trap to me. We have a nice shark play right there. Additional pieces of information as your play goes up. I'm going to keep that at target 1 there on that play here, because again, we're inside the fiddle zone, so I'm happy to just grab a bag inside. If it keeps running, you know, great. But inside the fiddle zone, you'll notice I will come in here and I'll just grab a bag. I'll take target 1, maybe target 2, and, you know, be done for particular plays if we need to, especially with the speed here, and I'm trying to teach at the same time. So let's see. As far as that goes, we had a little glitch here. Looks like 11, maybe 1 o'clock here. Needed a little kick. No biggie. So other items wanted to cover there. Let's see how far that moonshot ended up going. Wanted to look back on that moonshot. One of the most powerful plays we have there. It's debatable whether that whether that moonshot or a super AO is more powerful. I'd like to do some stats on that. 102 ticks for the up move off of that moonshot Enigma with the Flowmaster Cross. Now, what I wanted to talk about was after we have the filter, now I want basically these items. Okay,
Double
in a play. And now I'm going to say for me, because again, you can do what you want to do. At the end of the day, I'm not telling you what you have to do or any of that, but if you are kind of following along the way that I approach the markets, I'm going to give you some details on what I'm doing. Okay. This is it right here. If I'm going to summarize how I approach my plays, so the first things are filters. Okay. And I have 2 of those. High time frame filter. That was the first section there on the tide and wave. Remember, the alternative to the high time frame filter is what? What did we call the alternative to the high time frame filter if you don't want to have to read the chart? Something that our system makes simple is, what's it called? You said MacV Ultimate, give yourself a gold star. Secondarily, Fiddle Zone. Now, this one can kind of cross over between high time frame and the mid, because this is kind of like the final filter scenario. Like, do we have a rubber band pulled back? And that's a theory you'll kind of watch in one of our videos where I talk about the rubber band theory. When you pull back a rubber band and let it go, you can control kind of where it goes. You know that it's going to shoot straight, nice and straight. However, if your whole goal was to hit someone with a rubber band, well, there's 2 ways to do that. Pull it back, boom, fire it. Or you're going to throw a rubber band at your target or somebody, right? Then the thing's going to fly through the air. It's going to kind of flop around and blah, blah, blah. It's just weak, right? So I kind of talk about the Fiddle Zone filter being like pulling back a rubber band and knowing a little bit more about how far it's going to go, how hard it's going to hit, etc., based on how far that is being pulled back. So finally, at the end, the important items are going to be the structure plus RTUFA. And these right here make up our strategy entries. Let's do that in... So what is a precision strategy entry? Combination of these 2 items. Let's give some examples of these. Let me get thread here. All right, so you guys give me some examples of our strategy entries here. I'll start. One of the easies that are talked about in training. You got the headshot. Shark back, shark tail. What do we got? Diamond dot. Then let's talk about some powerful ones. So we got 3 kind of your basics, and then let's talk about some power movers. All right, let's talk about the Enigma is a little bit different because the Enigma is a combo in and of itself, but we can drop the Enigma by itself. And then, of course, its variations. So when I say variations, we're talking about, so there's a pure Enigma, which you can do off of Cadence. In the video trainings, you'll kind of learn what that is. If you are new to this, you don't know, it's okay. The Enigma itself is a multi-factor. This is a structure plus RTOFA, very, very powerful X, Y, and Z axis. And that's a whole thing we talked about 2 training videos ago. Go back and watch, I think it was 2 Fridays ago, or was it Mentorship Monday? I think the most recent 4 are very important, which, by the way, today is our last Mentorship Monday and live stream for the year. Okay, so we got, it's all the Christmas holiday fun and all that kind of whatnot. We'll be doing things. So I'm going to take some time off here through the end of the year and see you guys back in January. So hopefully you guys are enjoying this last one. Go back and watch the most recent Mentorship Mondays and Fridays, probably the most important things to check out. Although you can watch the midweek stuff where I'm, just trading away in our live streams as well. But if you want to watch the bookends of the week there, watch the Mentorship Mondays and Fridays where I'm doing the most teaching and training, kind of like what we're doing right here. Okay. So the Enigma variations, we've got some of my favorites. Oh, the Super AO, right? Super AOs. And then, now that one is kind of like a pure RTOFA, but not really, because it requires multi-leg. So we'll talk about why that Super AO, you might be like, well, that's just RTOFA, right, Vinny? No, there's structure involved in that too. It's a 2-legged structure, which we have some rules. If you watch back to my old school videos, you hear me say things like no flamingos. Flamingos can stand on 1 leg, but everything else needs 2 or more, right? Unless you're a flamingo. And I always say no flamingos. Okay, there's reasons for all that. Super AO, and let's think of, I love the triple ready up. Ooh, that's a huge one. So we've got a nice variation here, and we'll also do known as ready, okay, or the ready DD. Now, let's go through a couple of these and talk about what's inside. So this is literally, you combine this entire thing, this section here can be literally a 2-step scenario. Step 1, filter. Step 2, precision strategy entry. This is it. That's it. So this, I want to, stress this to the folks who are coming and asking the question, hey, I think this might be, it's maybe too much going on here. Of course, at the same time, you don't know what you don't know, right? What I'm trying to open the bridge to you to understand is there is a bridge to get there. And at the end of this, it's literally only 2 steps. You're looking for high time frame filters with the final filter. Then that's choosing your direction. By the time you are done with this step 1, you will have already chosen red or green. Okay, this is where, I'm going to put this over here actually. This is the step where you choose red or green.
Double delta EM on the 1. Enigma long on the NQ on the 3.
All right, so in step 1, you're literally going to go like, well, Vinny, how do I choose? Am I going long or short? Because at the end of the day, I want to really reiterate this. In my viewpoint,
on the 1.
the market is only going two directions. It is a binary operation, which is what makes coding this so fun for me. Because at the end of the day, when you really think about everything, if you want to boil this down to code, we're going up or we're going down. Does everybody understand that? If you understand that we are only going up or we're going down, type a 1. If you don't, and type a 2. And then back up your point, because I know what you're probably going to say. You're probably going to say, well, what about sideways? Well, I could actually argue with you on that to show you that at some level, you are still either going up or down. Even between a bid and an ask, you are going up or you're going down. Okay. If you understand that, type a 1. If you don't, type a 2, and we'll try to reiterate it a little bit. It's the whole point of being here today for us. But once you've established step 1, step 2 is literally where I call now you are stalking your entry. I kind of call this the, we're looking for the hover effect now when we get to step 2. Okay, on step 2, we are hovering. Okay, like, what do you mean by hovering? I like to think of it as hovering my mouse over the button. Which button am I going to hover over? The red or the green? I've already decided right here in step 1. So by the time I get to step 2, I'm literally hovering over. I'm like, okay, I should be looking for a short right now, or I should be looking for a long. I'm just going to hover my mouse over the buy or the sell. Or if you want to have, like I like to use hotkeys, and if I'm split sometimes, I'm kind of like, well, let me think about it. I want to have a left-hand buy, right-hand sell. Up to you how you do this. There's all kinds of really cool techniques depending on how often you want to look to trade. If you want to wait for the bigger time frames to play and you're literally going to follow the system down to the T, where you're going to wait until we're outside the fiddle zone, awesome. Then you definitely will be able to hover. This is the simplest way to execute, in my opinion, on the system, is to literally just wait and hover and take your play in the direction of your previously defined bias. Then you are waiting for one of these. Okay, and this is where the magic happens in our system, because this is going to do all the analysis for you, and these are your strategy names. Things like the headshot. So I can do some check marks here. You'll learn all these in training. So the headshot, the shark back, the diamond dot, the Enigma variables like Enigma pure cadence, Enigma plus Flowmaster Cross is a moonshot, or a super Enigma. Now, some of these can come, land in combinations. We've seen things like you've got the moonshot, you got a super moonshot. You'll have the ready DD show up, so it's a super Enigma plus the moonshot plus a shark in that area. These super combinations of places that will show up on occasion, which are really awesome. Your super AO, and then your triple ready up. Again, there are more of these. There are about a dozen of these. Some of them more popular than others. I've kind of named some of the most popular ones right here. Again, we didn't talk about the two-finger salute. There are so many others that are in the training there. I don't say so many others. Sounds like there's a ton. There's really not. There's literally a baker's dozen or so entry types. Now, we come into the double cross scenarios. Double crosses, while those are Flowmaster scenarios, they require legs involved as well. So those are your structures, because remember, we are combining two things in our final play. In the final setup and the final execution, I am looking for, if I can get going up here, I want a structure, and a structure can be defined by multiple things. Our primary structures here are harmonics. Now, harmonics are a very cool, complex structure that you don't really have to care about. The beautiful thing about these, there's all kinds of studies around harmonic movements in markets, and you can go and study those to your heart's content. Just know that our system is doing all of that overhead work that is very difficult to do by hand for you. The structure is created and drawn for you. We have predictive harmonics. It's another thing about what we have that no other systems have, is predicting the actual PRZ, which is the potential reversal zone. We have a PRZ, a predicted potential reversal zone, and then you can also execute on those even when they show up in real time, like it does on a shark back play, which is some of the most powerful plays. So a structure, you can also have, we have the auto channel. If you guys have seen the auto channel regulator, that's a very cool and powerful tool. That is technically a structure as well. So if you have an RTOFA event show up at one of these structures, a harmonic inside of PRZ, or if it's showing up at something as simple as the bottom of the channel regulator, if you are still into drawing wedges, you can do those. I've got videos around. If you're a traditionalist and you want to draw out the wedge structures, you can do that. If you want to draw your channels by hand, technically you can do that, although I would recommend using the regulator because it will adjust for you as the market bars, new bars are coming in. Super handy to have that for you. Structure, then an RTOFA event. What is that? Real-time order flow analysis. And this is order flow. Now, order flow is an overused term, I think, in this industry. There are all kinds of order flow tools out there. A lot of them surrounding things like you'll hear things called footprint charts. Footprint charts will make your eyes cross, in my opinion. Now, at the same time, there's valuable information in there. ALGOBOX, I have created ALGOBOX to extract that information in there and remove the distractions, filter down to go, now what do you need to know? What's happening inside of that bar that you need to know? Inside of the footprint of that bar, what's going on there? And only showing you things when events need to be displayed on your screen, giving you directional bias at the same time as the order flow events occur. Because oftentimes, a lot of these tools, they don't give you a directional bias. Ours does. Okay, now, all that to be said, remember, I'm just trying to boil this down to 2 steps. High time frame filter, second one, precise entry, which will combine a structure and an RTOFA, at least. And most of the time, with these more powerful strategy setups over here, they've got multiples of these, multi-structure, multi-RTOFA events. This is the power of the ALGOBOX Precision when you come down to things like the Super AO, the Enigmas, the headshots, where there are literally a dot by itself. A fib dot is multi-fib. Some people said the other day, like I heard somebody on another live stream that they were talking, they said, oh, it's, you know, it's a fib and an Elliott wave. That's not true. I don't even show those to you unless it's a multi-fib location, meaning multiple fib lines, because, you know, unfortunately Fibonacci is it's cool, but if you know, it's the whole, if you draw enough lines on a chart, one of them is going to eventually hit. Well, I want to see where multiples of those line up. Then I will draw one along with an Elliott wave, which are multiple structure theories combined. Then an RTOFA, which is why these are powerful entry locations when you come down here to the precision strategy entries. Okay. Now, I dropped a lot of stuff there. If you guys got a screenshot of this, come back to it, play the video again. I just come out here and draw on the boards. All right, that's what you got to do because I'm a terrible video editor. What can I say? But speaking of the bad at video editing, some people, though, are not. Let me show you guys what you have to look forward to in 2025 for a moment. Are you guys ready? It's going to be pretty cool. Hold on to your seats.
Welcome back, traders. Today we're breaking down the ALGOBOX SMLK timing lines, your ultimate guide for precise trade timing. Whether you're targeting small moves or aiming for big runners, SMLK timing lines can refine your entries and boost your confidence. SMLK timing lines leverage price structure, Fibonacci extensions, and Darvas boxes to provide a clear visual framework for identifying potential trade setups. Here's how they function. A trade setup within the small SMLK zone often aligns with target 1. In the medium zone, look for opportunities to reach target 1 and target 2. The large SMLK zone typically signals a path toward target 3. And the king zone, that's where you might aim for target 3 and even a potential runner. SMLK timing lines let you tweak settings to match your trading style. Calculation intervals for real-time updates. Bar thresholds to refine line placement, visual settings like colors and line styles to keep your charts clean and effective. Want more or fewer timing lines? Adjust the number of drawings to suit your strategy. Here's the magic. Pairing SMLK timing lines with other ALGOBOX tools like Flowmaster adds powerful confluence to your trade setups. It's like building a precise roadmap for your trades. Get ready to elevate your trading game with SMLK timing lines. Customize, strategize, and let the confluences guide your setups. Stay tuned for more and catch you in the upcoming video.
Alrighty then, so let's get some feedback. What do you guys think about that? So we're going to have some cool videos like that coming in 2025. And yeah, we're already getting those worked on. It's going to be pretty awesome. You come back down here to, again, this is the... This is what overwhelms people. So when you are seeing all of this, right now you're looking at my full 4K screen going, okay, what is all of this? I mean, how am I going to know what to do with all these charts? And I will just put it like this. Your car has a lot of buttons and gizmos on it. Same thing. All you need though, grab onto the steering wheel, and here's your steering wheel right here. These buttons, you really need a buy, a sell. You really don't even need this one. Okay, I would come down to 3 buttons. You really don't even need reverse. Okay, you literally need 3 buttons. So, can you put 2 hands on a steering wheel and put your foot on the gas and the brake? Well, then, in my opinion, I think you can drive a system like this. Personally, just my personal opinion on that. So, let me bring it back down here to, again, when I boil this down, like if I've already made my decisions, that step 1 comes from here, here, and here. Okay, everybody understand that? This, and this is step 1. I just go, okay, what's my direction? That's it. I'm gleaning my directional bias from these 3 charts. Now, do I have to do this? Remember, I said that you can actually clear house if you want to. Keep this super simple, although I don't want to scratch out this bottom one here. I do think you should use this because this is a finalized filter thing. I think you need this. Okay, but these other items, if you want to eliminate this one, top side, this chart, you can do that. I recommend keeping this one, but then you can substitute all of that with this right here. Choose your directional bias from here. This is pretty darn powerful because you're talking about all 4 of the correlated instruments if you are trading the primaries that we do, the NASDAQ, ES, RTY, Dow, and then using that as your directional bias to take your plays, you can literally just sit right here on this chart and wait for setups. Like, let's go to this. What's this nice, beautiful 25 here? Let's talk about what that means. Going here to bottom left. So that's a pure Enigma right there. Now, Enigma is a structure and RTOFA event. There are lots of things inside of this that, again, proprietary. This is proprietary. Okay, I can't tell you guys what all is in here, but I can tell you this. This has X, Y, and Z components internally. And if you don't know what those are, again, go back to the last few videos where I really go in depth on time, price, and
upper bands touch NQ
boards, volume order flows. Okay, those are super comboed in the Enigma, which is why it's so powerful, even used by itself. And of course, full auto capabilities and blah, 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 blah. We'll talk more about the full auto stuff on Fridays. So go watch the Fridays, full auto Fridays, for more details around that. And we have specific videos on that if you're going through the training. If you are going to get to those and skip ahead, you'll have to go to like video number 40 or 50 in the series if you're going through it during your premium training. Now, that video I just showed you guys a minute ago there on the SMLK timing lines comes from the base of the information inside of our documentation area. If you're brand new with us and you're like, what's Enigma Cadence? What's he talking about? We spent over 1.5 years and used, people that can do graphics way better than me, coming over and creating awesome documentation for you guys to go through in our documentation area. Now, you can print this out. Obviously, you can't have flashing little cool little graphics like this if you do the printed version, but you can print this entire thing out, gigantic PDF for yourself, have everything there in a book format. But this is searchable, and then if you go to the bottom, each of these is going to link you to videos, and those videos are also going to have the most recent stuff, like our high-end video edit stuff. We have hired video editors to come in and make videos for us for all of the content on the left-hand side. Now, there's also an entire syllabus if you want to look at the syllabus to like, okay, can I take a peek at the syllabus, all the things I'm going to learn. And I always also tell people, if you're concerned with, well, there's too many things to learn, you don't have to learn everything. Here's the kicker about this whole thing. You can specify. It's like going to a restaurant. What kind of restaurant do you want to run? While I may teach you how to make pizzas and teach you how to make tacos and teach you how to make, I don't know, some linguine cuisine, you may just choose to be, I want to make the best pizza in the world. You maybe want to be the best taco stand ever, right? And you want to make whatever kind of restaurant out of your own. You can be specific. Like, I just want to be the best at Enigma Cadence. Cool. Learn the Enigma Cadence, play that. Awesome. Now, I recommend you take about 3 or 4 strategies. Personally, that would be me. I would choose 3 or 4 to be specific on. And then you don't have to know all, but at the same time, if you at least know about all of them, in my opinion, like let's say you never take a 3 wise men ever. Okay, if you don't ever want to look at a 3 wise men, you're like, 3 wise men, that's cool, but well, what if a 3 wise men shows up and you're over there, you're a cadence player, and you see a 3 wise men, and you remember the training that you did, be like, okay, well, this 3 wise men is working against me, and I've got my Enigma here. Maybe you skip on that one, or maybe you go all in on it. If the 3 wise men is with you, along with your cadence entry strategy for your Enigma, maybe you're going to say, hey, you know what? I'm actually going to increase my size on this one because I remember what Vinny said. I watched that video. I know about it. So it's adding and enhancing my pizza delivery here. I've got extra sauce on this one because I've got the 3 wise men. I get to add that extra mozzarella on that bad boy, you know, and mozzarella, hey, tastes good in tacos and pizzas. You see what I'm saying? Like, some things can cross over while you are developing your business as a trader and how you want to combine the resources inside of the ALGOBOX system. Okay. Those are some great circle highlights. Yes, they are. So the documentation is there, currently available to the public at docs.algoboxpro.com. Now, as we go into next year, this will not be publicly available. So you will need to be part of our membership. If you're wondering, like, well, hey, you know, how do I get to that? If you're watching this at a later time, this may be only for the premium members. Now, for premium members, you guys are going to have some really cool sections right now. Some of these items are currently still under construction. Within the next couple of weeks before the end of the year here, all of these will be built out. Once you log into your dashboard, you will be presented with the video training areas, the trading tools. You can download your ALGOBOX. You've got, if you want to become an affiliate with us, you've got the affiliate links there as well. And we'll have all that kind of set up there for you. And then, of course, they'll have access to the full documentation by going to documentation section there. But we do recommend that you go through the training videos. Now you're like, well, I heard it takes 120 days. No, that's not actually true. We just have a training layout for you that we approximate that it takes you about 120 days to become really proficient with our system. Then again, we've got people who have been trading for a long time, don't need the basics of NinjaTrader, been around it, and just need a system like ours for the precision entries and the filtering. Awesome. Those people, you know, can take as little time as they want jumping in. But if you're going to finish out all of our videos, we estimate that it'll take you about actually 40 days. So if you're trying to ask yourself, you know, what's the real number? It is approximately 40 days. I wish I could draw better. Let's see if sometimes when I get this fatter, it makes me to draw better. There we go. So approximately 40 days to go through training. If you're watching 2 or 3 videos per day, going through the entire thing from beginning to ending. Now, I think that's pretty reasonable. I think, oh, it's just 40 days. Cool. Some people, again, we've got guys who have binge watched this stuff, finished it in a week, but really kind of up to you how long it takes you to go through the training videos themselves. Now, I do recommend 2 sets of 40 for practicing in simulated environments before you start going out there and throwing your hard-earned cash at things, but you'll build your confidence at your own speed. Okay, some people are faster, some people are slower, and it's not better or worse either way. Really kind of up to you, the individual, on you know, how confident you get with the system, for how often you get to play it. Now, I do say I have found a correlation. I personally believe there's a direct correlation between the amount of time you spend in market replay and the size of your P&L. Now, that just simply means market replay. What is market replay? If you don't know what market replay is, you are definitely missing out. It's literally being able to play the markets at any time, even on the weekends, using market replay data that is, I wouldn't say freely available, because you do need to have a data feed connection to a broker of some type, whether you are doing a trader funding program using their data feed, or NinjaTrader CQG data feed, or Rhythmic, or Kinetic, whoever your data feed provider is. You do need a data feed, but once you have that, you can actually download entire days worth of data to your PC, or use the historical data, which is pretty awesome. I have a video around what are the pros and cons of using market replay data versus historical data, and how fast you can get your charts loaded up and practice. Literally practice when the markets aren't moving, when you don't have the when you don't have your hard-earned money on the line, practicing in simulated environments so that you can become good at the video game, which is what every great gamer who plays any game does, is practices the video game when nobody's around. Get on the server, play by yourself, practice by yourself, get good, and then when you get into the game, you're just better. Okay. We've got practical things like, you know, trading additional size. I think it's easier to size down than to size up. I went into extensive detail on that over the last 3 mentorship videos, so I can just reiterate today, if you, hopefully you got something out of this video, but go back to the last 3 or 4 mentorship Mondays and the last few Fridays to really get some super deep dive information around ALGOBOX and how we run things. Now, I'm going to hop over into the Ask Questions section. I think we covered almost all of them actually on Friday, because we covered a lot on Friday, and it's the holidays right now, so not as many people are coming to ask questions anyways, but I'm going to check. If you do have a question, pop it there in the chat here in the live stream, or if you've already put a question in the Ask Questions section, I'm going to go and check those out right now, and we'll get any of those questions answered. Let's see. Where do we watch the session at? Right here on YouTube. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. How many of you guys are not subscribed? Surely, if you guys are following us right by now, you are subscribed to the YouTube channel, and enable the bell notifications so that you get notified whenever we do go live. Sorry, I got little guys knocking on the door. Yeah, come in. Yes, come on in. Some of the stuffing came out of his tail fin. Oh no, what are we gonna do? Get all the stuffing back into his tail? Okay. Well, let me finish up my live stream here and we'll fix it, okay? All right, love you guys. Talk to you in a bit. Let's see. Ask questions. So that was one. Where can I find the EGI controller? You know what? We didn't talk about optimizations, did we? So I run optimizations for everyone so that you know what range chart you should be running on the wave, and I present those every Sunday night or Monday morning at the beginning of each week. We post those into the premium members chat. So I'm going to go into premium chat real quick, and I'm going to pull up what he's asking about there. Here we go. So the EGI controller is an internal app that I've created personally to extract the optimization data in a more visual way. Plus, this allows me to do some other stuff with my auto load full auto stuff for my platinum products. But it's a whole other conversation for another day. But this is the information that you need to know. So today, let's look at the RTY. I can currently tell that I'm on the wrong range here because I didn't load this morning. We see the period right here. We're supposed to be on the 28, as you can see right here on this one. RTY. Oops, I'm sorry. I'm looking for the Dow. The Dow 40. Sorry, I'm on the Dow. We did trade RTY there for a while, a couple months back. So on YM, I need to be on the 40 range. Now, if you don't know what this is, we walk through this whole thing in our training videos, but just know, how do we stay in tune with the markets? Because this is another thing that people don't know or understand. One of the advantages of ALGOBOX is we're continuously optimizing. First, we start out the week with a major optimization. So I'm going to change this one right now to 40. I'll literally type 40R, and you'll learn all this in your training. Very easy for us to switch into that. Now, this is the news indicator. I'm going to move this up here out of the way. And we have all our news up here at the top left there, and the whole news thing can be controlled here. Pulling this from our news sources and all that kind of whatnot, whole videos around how all that works. But so now I am in tune with the markets for our most recent sliding window, which is a whole nother topic of things. But just know at the beginning of the week, set this so that you have the ideal optimized range set up for our plays. Now, it's specific to our plays. So this doesn't extract to if you're like, oh, I'm going to use the 40 range and that's what I need to use for, I don't know, if you're outside of ALGOBOX doing your own thing, that's not going to help you, okay? So that specific tuning comes in at the beginning of the week. As far as, do you need the EGI controller? No, you don't have access to that, but you have access to the images that we post in the room. We do post it in the public chat as well as the premium chat, so it's easy to find for the premium members at the beginning of the week. Now, internally, we are also continuously optimizing. We have a continuous optimization process. Every 4 minutes, we're continuously re-optimizing, which is why your system is so awesome. You didn't know that? Well, now you do. Other questions. Let's go up. So I think we answered that question for how to find it. There's a big announcement. It looks like this. So if you come into our room, you'll see this optimization in process, and then you see this new ranges have been posted. So you'll see some big text in gold right there. It says new ranges have been posted, and then you'll see that looks like this there in the chat. You see today I did it at 12:09 a.m. just after midnight. So technically it was Monday, right? Sunday night into Monday morning. And I run that optimization process separately and then post it into the chat. Now, can you run your own optimizations? You can. Now I have a very specific one that you guys don't have access to because it's a multi-strategy entry optimization. But if you have any of the full auto systems, you can run optimization for Two Finger Salute, for Headshot, for Lunchbot, for Enigma. If you're a Platinum member, you have access to all of the Platinum optimizations, of course. But, you know, there's videos on all that. I'm not going to go into that in detail here today, but maybe on a Friday, we'll talk more about that. Let's see. Other questions?
Double delta NQ on the 3.
Scroll up. Okay, one question here. How do I get the Enigma bot panel on the Ripple chart? That is a great question. So if you are brand new with us and you have the default workspace and you don't have the Enigma bot on it, so let's do I'm going to right click here and I'm going to duplicate this chart in a new window.
Double delta EM on the 1.
And I'm going to go into indicators here. And this is not on by default. And again, as we go into 2025, this is another special note. If you are listening, if you are thinking about getting our program, make sure you get it before January 1st. Don't come cry to me when Enigma is no longer available on January the 1st, 2025. It will no longer be included in the free installer. It will not be included in the free section at all. It will not be included in the standard installation. Premium members only will have access to a separate installer. We've already created the installer. It is going to be updated on the website and in the downloader on January 1st. And your old ones will stop working. And I'm not going to tell you the date on which those will stop working, but we'll just put it this way. Your current one is not going to keep working into 2025, if you know what I'm saying. All right, so let me come down here to the Enigma bot panel. It is a Flowmaster, so here it is, Flowmaster Enigma bot panel. So this is what your chart will look like without it, if you are using the standard out-of-the-box layout. So what he's asking is, so hey, my current chart layout looks like this because I've got the defaults. Now, there are multiple workspaces. If you go into the workspaces section, familiar with NinjaTrader, click on workspaces. We install approximately 10, might be 12 workspaces for you. There is in video number 4 in the premium member section. I go into every detail on every chart, what it's there for, or I'm sorry, workspace, what it's there for, what it's made for, depending on what your current PC speed is and all those kind of things. Now, we have a new component inside of our system. You guys might have noticed the awesome stabilization that we have gotten, right? You guys, there's hardly ever any crashing, all of that stuff. We have really stabilized the system. We have an internal set of components now that are working through testing your system when you first do your install. And every 6 months, it will kick off just to make sure that things are kosher with your PC, and it will check the performance of your PC and things and make some adjustments on the back end for you to make sure that your performance is optimized for your PC. Pretty cool what we've created inside of ALGOBOX. No other systems out there have anything like what we have. Now, let's go in. And the reason I'm saying that is because there are lights edition that you may not need anymore. So some of the workspaces you'll probably be seeing disappear in the next set of installers because you don't need
Double Delta
Enigma Lite or Lightest anymore, because basically our system will run on just about anything now, all the way down to an i5. So pretty cool stuff. If you are new with us, go check it out. Play it for yourself and you'll see. Although a faster PC is better. Okay, just in general, you'll want a PC that's fast, but not necessary. Okay. So his question was, how do I add it? Very simple. Take your chart, right click, select indicators on the menu right there. That's the key. We'll go into our indicators, and ours are listed under ALGOBOX in alphabetical order. So under indicators, you've got our system installed. You will need to make sure that during the installer that you selected the Enigma option. If it's not in the list, first thing you want to check is make sure, go back and run the installer again and make sure that you installed the Enigma options. Okay, it's option number 2 as you do the install. Option number 3 will do the full auto components. So if you want the full auto items, just select option number 3 and all of our components will be installed as of today. Now, 2025, this will not be the case. If you're watching this later on, 2025, sorry, Charlie, you missed out on Enigma. Sorry. All right, let's go Enigma bot panel. Double click, added, boom. Now, we've got all the things set for you by default. You don't really have to change any of this stuff if you don't want to, but up to you. If you want to change settings, there's all kinds of information in the documentation section on what you can change inside of here. And yeah, so I'm just going to leave it on its defaults right now. Click OK. And here comes our beautiful bot panel. The whole chart will lay out and load up. There we go. So one of the default settings there was, you might have seen the confluence level. One of the most important features to look at is what level confluence we're looking at. L1, 2, 3, and 4. So 4 levels of confluence. If you want the default out of the box, it's L2. If you want a little more confluence, I would go L3. I don't really find a lot of advantage going all the way L4, but if you want less risk and less trades, you can go all the way to L4. For me, you'll see me often switching between L3 and L2. Most of the time, I've got set to L2. If I'm all the way down on the ones, you'll see me use the 3 more often. Any other chart besides ones, I am going to be on the 2s. Or the ones. If I'm going all the way to the 4s, I will go all the way up to an L1. And you'll learn that as you go through the training. Don't worry about it. You can adjust as you go. Ask a friend. There are a lot of people who are the Enigma experts. Okay, lots of people to ask around what we do here. Okay. All right, we have covered quite a lot. We're right at an hour and 3 minutes. Hopefully you guys got something out of that. Share this video with a friend. Do me a favor right now, smash the like button before we get going. Also, click the share button for me. Let's tell YouTube that, hey, there's some pretty cool stuff going on here. Just hit share, click on post, and then make a post. Put a smiley face, put a, oh man, the system is awesome, love using ALGOBOX, whatever. Say something, share it out there on a YouTube post for us. This will be the last live stream until the new year. So hopefully you guys got something out of it. Merry Christmas. Thanks for hanging out. For me, Pippi, Robbie, Lunchbot, Mod Squad, Curtis G, and Eddie B. I am sitting out of the Big H-Town. See ya.
DCDME on the 1.
Art team, I didn't forget you. Show the new folks how it's done.
The old adage where, you know, the individual investor doesn't have a chance, but the institutional investor has better technology, better information, and, you know, more money and better opportunity. I don't think it's real anymore. I think the edge is on the individual investors because they're small, they're nimble, they can trade, they can use they have better front-end technology.
Don't waste your time. Leave the technical analysis to us. You just play the game.
Pip.em on the A. Double delta NQ on the 3.
Forex is littered with crooks, black hat guys, all this
Double
kind
delta
of
NQ on the
shifty
3.
characters and companies trying to extract money from your pocket and stick it into theirs. And one of the things that they do is operate these Forex signals.
Delta vibrating. Long. Look for long. Harmonic pattern. Pick up. One down on freeze. Order filled. Target filled.
DCDMRTY on the 4. DCDMEM on the 4. Double delta EM on the 1. Double delta EM on the 1. Double delta EM on the 1. DCDMRTY on the 4. Speed YM 100 DCDMRTY on the 4 Q67. Double